Hey, so who's this guy?
That's the old Holy Father.
The old Holy Father?
Pope
Because
Benedict
he's
XVI.
old, like old man, or?
No, the emeritus.
Oh, the emeritus, yeah. So Pope Benedict XVI, he used to say over and over again, I love this line, to be a Christian is not the result of an ethical choice or a lofty idea. It's the result of an encounter with a person that gives direction for your whole life.
Absolutely, yeah. We must encounter the risen Lord.
Yeah.
Right. It's not just about data or about knowledge of Christ.
Right.
We have to encounter Him, meet Him, know Him, love Him, respond to Him.
And our new Holy Father, at least together with some of the other Latin American bishops, a set of years ago, he wrote something. I love this. I find this to be the best summary of the Christian life I've come across in years. 3 things. Knowing Jesus is the best gift anybody can receive. That we have encountered Him is the best thing that has ever happened in our lives. And making Him known by our deeds and our words is our greatest joy. Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah, yeah.
That's so true, huh? That we have encountered Him. Best thing that's ever happened in my life.
That's right, and the greatest gift that we could receive, right? I mean, that means the seed has been planted, we've received it, and we want to bear fruit, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So what's this have to do with what we're going to be doing at Our Lady Good Counsel this coming fall?
Right, we're starting an Alpha program, it's called, the Alpha program.
Right.
Yeah, and it really is based off of this program that came out of London, England, right? This man named Nicky Gumbel, and he invented this program based on the understanding of Christ saying in the book of Revelation, I am the Alpha and the Omega, right? The first and the last. The understanding that really to understand Jesus, we have to go back to the very beginnings and the very basic understanding. And so Father John and I just recognizing, you and I recognizing that so many people are hungering for the very basic knowledge of Jesus, to know Him in His person. And so just we're wiping the slate clean here at OLGC, and right,
and we really are. We're doing nothing but Alpha. I mean, nothing. Sunday through Saturday, right?
Yeah.
Every single day of the week, we're doing something for Alpha. So here's what I'm thinking. Your experience, I think, was somewhat similar to mine. Grew up Catholic, went to church. I don't know when it happened. I think I know when it happened, I guess, if I really reflected upon it. But it would certainly been the case for me that I was catechized, but never really evangelized.
Right.
Somebody taught the faith to me, but as someone else has said, trying to catechize somebody, teaching them the faith without ever having had the encounter with Jesus is like planting seeds in concrete.
Yeah.
They don't grow,
they don't
right?
grow.
And that's what our experience has been with many people who are Catholic. This is something that our Protestant brothers and sisters do really well. It's why a lot of people leave the Catholic Church, at least for a time, and go to a Protestant church, because they do an awesome job at helping someone to encounter Jesus. And Alpha's about helping someone to encounter Jesus.
Yeah, absolutely. We all have those horror stories back in catechism when we were young growing up. All it was arts and crafts, religious style. And we learned the data, we learned about Jesus, we learned the catechism, but we didn't learn the person of Jesus. And so that's what this is, and it's geared towards adults, right? And so again, like you said, Saturday through Sunday, 7 days a week, we're wiping the slate clean, and it's going to be just teaching the fundamental basics of our Christian faith, that Jesus Christ is Lord. Yeah,
and when he says teaching, so we're not catechizing. This is really it's a 10-week program, once a week, about 2.5 hours in its fullest format, right? So we get together, we have a meal, we watch a DVD, and then we have a discussion afterwards, which you're not forced to discuss if you don't want to talk about, so don't worry about it, because some people hate that, But it's about 8 to 10 people at a table, right? And then we talk about whatever it is that Nicky talked about in the DVD, which are really well done, right? We've been doing it as a staff, and you've liked it, haven't you?
Oh, they're incredible.
I've loved it.
Life-changing. I'm a priest for a year. You've been a priest for 17 years, right? And we're finding fruit in this ourselves, and there's always room to grow, right? And to fall more deeply in love with Jesus. Who would you say that is the ideal person to enter into the Alpha course, right? Who is it that the person that you're really looking to step in and take one of these courses?
Great question. I think the answer to that is to those of us who haven't yet had an encounter.
Right.
So if you're sitting there right now and you're going, I don't know that I really know Jesus. Right. I think Christianity for me it's an ethical way of life. It's a lofty idea. But I don't know that I've got a friendship with Jesus, So ask yourself, Do you have that friendship with him right now? Is he the one who decides or guides everything that you do in your daily life?
Yeah.
And if you've never really met him, then I think this is for you. That doesn't mean it's not for you and me as well, or for other people who have met him, because he's an infinite person, right? So there's always more to know.
Yeah, absolutely. And so we really are trying to gear this towards just the Our Lady of Good Counsel parish family, right? Our parish boundaries. We are responsible for the souls of those around here in this Plymouth area, and so we're really shooting
That's
to
right.
help convert our people. And so if you know your neighbors and they don't know the Lord, invite them
Absolutely.
to the Alpha program. Your aunts or uncles who are in our boundaries, invite them to the Alpha program. But if you yourself, if you know the Lord, this necessarily isn't for you. I mean, this isn't just another thing on the docket. This is really geared towards those who don't know Jesus and who want to meet him.
But those of you who do know him, we want you to come,
Yeah.
because we really want to immerse ourselves as a parish. It would just be the case that you've already had the encounter with the Lord, but you're still going to learn something. As you were saying, you and I have been learning something just by sitting, not only learning from Nikki, but I think learning from the fellowship that has
Right.
been created by our table discussion, right?
Yeah.
So we want everybody in the parish to go through this. It's why we've canceled every other program with the exception of RCIA for the fall. This is all we're doing. And we can't throw a wide enough net, right, for everybody to come to this.
Right. And
It's
so-
got the potential to be huge, doesn't it?
Yeah, the fraternity, it certainly does. And we don't know how big or how small it is, but we know that the Lord is calling us to do this, and he will bestow his blessing upon it. The fraternity aspect really is a big key of it, right? It starts off with a meal, right? So it's based around that, the fraternity and the camaraderie of Christian fellowship. And then it moves into the video and then discussion. So there's
Right.
this element of seeing others across the table with you who too are on this journey with you. And so we are in this together. And so that's where we build up the body of Christ as one.
If you're hungry, you want to come to Alpha. If life's just dull, gray, boring, and you got it all, and we live in an area where a lot of people, they got it all. I got the nice car, I got the nice house, I got a good family, I'm living a good life. Why am I hungry? Why am I restless? Well, you're restless and you're hungry for the same reason that we are, because we're made for God. That's why. We're made for God. He's the one who's created us and called us into friendship. And until I know him, I'm always going to be hungry. I'm always going to be restless, right? Mm-hmm. So if you're experiencing that right now, this is for you. If you got friends who are experiencing that, invite them, because what they're hungry for, even if they don't know it, is Jesus.